Hey everyone. Um, those of you that don't know me, my name is Kendrick Kim, and I want to address a few things. Um, so I've been getting a lot of gaslighting and also, I guess, hate because I'm being anti-police. Let me clear something up. You can be pro-police and anti-police at the same time by wanting equal and equality for all individuals and equal justice, right? Um, when I'm being anti-police, I'm being anti-police brutality. There's a big difference between anti-police brutality and just being anti-police because you don't like the police. And no one's really talking about the fact that you can be anti police brutality and at the same time want equal justice and social equality for all, right? Kyle Ritterhouse, Jacob Black, there are two victims, two uh, two criminals, whatever you want to call them, but there's two human beings here, and how they are being treated by police officers is two different experiences and two different stories, right? And you're not acknowledging the African American black experience of dealing with police. You are disrupting them and saying, hey, you know what, that doesn't happen. If you just act right, you'll be okay. And that is completely unfair to tell someone that. And at the same time, society is praising Kyle Ritterhouse about, defending his property or defending himself when, you know, he walked right up to the police. He's passing the police with a gun in tote. Even though it's open carry laws, he's under 18, and they just let him go. There's a real difference in how police and criminal justice system are treating black folks and then how they're treating white folks, right? Let's just be honest. Brock Turner, Stanford case, he was a former water polo. He raped and assaulted an unconscious woman. People caught him red-handed. They did a citizen's arrest. Brock Turner happens to be a wealthy, affluent family of wealth, happens to be a Caucasian white boy. And what happens? 6 months, 3 months, time served, so he only served 3 months, and he's out of jail, right? That is the judge based on because he had no criminal record. Okay, flip the script. There has been many conversations because of this. Flip the script. What if he was black? What if he was brown? What if he was yellow, Asian? Would that be the same fair, equal treatment and meeting out of justice, right? No one talks about that. And no everyone wants to be colorblind, right? And let me give you an example. This guy Octavio Capesetti, he tells me I am delusional and that there's no racism. Stop being a victim, and just obey the police, obey the police, obey the police. You know, people that don't obey the police don't get shot and don't get killed. There's a difference. And believe you me, I could be a Karen and I could be a Darren. And when we go at the police because we're upset over a traffic stop, because we got a ticket, we could yell and curse and cuss and flare our hands. And there's no guns drawn out to us. You know that, right? So there's a different experience, an inequity experience of interactions with police, right? And let's just be real. If I'm in Irvine, police saw me, you know dang well that they're gonna treat me well, right? Let's just be honest, right? I mean, they when they see an Asian person in Irvine, they're very respectful, right? Even in Cerritos, they're pretty respectful. Why? Because politics, maybe because we have a lot of the mayors and city councils that happen to be Asian, right? So, the different experiences of black people versus Asian people in terms of interaction with police, that's privilege. We all have our own privilege and our own right. When people talk about privilege, it's not about economic privilege, right? It's about the day-to-day living and our experiences. Okay? All right? So, I would appreciate people really looking into their hearts and biasness. Okay? I have a lot of bias and unconscious bias that I need to work on. I admit that. I try to learn it, right? To say that I have no bias, prejudices, or stereotypes against other people, that's more scarier than actually admitting it. Because, you know, admitting that you have an issue, admitting that you have some bias and you want to work on yourself, that's a lot more better than telling someone that you're not racist, okay? Because those people that say you're not racist, or I don't mean to say something racist, but, and when they say it, it comes out racist anyway, all right? And, you know, Octavio Guy Capresetti, you blocked me on Facebook, and you try to have a last response telling me to go get laid in TJ and all of that stuff, and that you're trying to help me. This is condescending talk from you, and this is where you trying to mansplain me, right? And then you say those misogynistic comments to me and insulting comments and telling me not to be a victim and block me so I can't respond to you, right? And you do know that my Facebook profile is public, so that means that it's transparent. Anybody that's not my friend could see any post that I make or any response that you make. So it's not like a private conversation you and I had. So it's already public, all right? So I want to address that. So people like you, Octavio Capresetti or Capacetti, you know, I really care less about how to pronounce your last name right now because of the things you said. And the people that believe in that type, you can be pro-police, but at the same time, anti-police brutality. In addition to that, you can want equal and social justice and equality for all. You can ask for criminal justice reform, right? How you treat the sentencing guidelines for black people versus white people, it's very disparaging, it's very different, right? We've seen many cases like that in different states. And you guys, and we sometimes often choose to ignore because we honestly don't care because it doesn't affect us, okay? So I think that we just need to make that change within ourselves and try to create that change, all right? I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, there are good police officers out there. When people say that, I'm not offended by that at all. But what I am offended is that that there are some people that really invalidate or try not to acknowledge the experiences of other minority groups or other people, and then proceed to say that there's a mental health issue with that person, or that they're just trying to help you, right? Racism is a mental issue. It takes its toll, okay? It really does. And, you know, the coronavirus, do you think that there are people out there that are okay with calling me the Asian virus, the Kung Flu virus, or telling me to man up, stop being a little bitch? They're just words. You know, those are the same type of people that would say to you, I'm not racist, they're just words, right? And being racist, you know, comments like I can't be racist to you, Kendrick, because you know what? I'm not white. That's a racist statement within itself. And not only that, that's a stupid statement. Because here's the thing. Racism doesn't see color. People who are racist, right? People who are racist, it doesn't matter whether you're white, black, brown, right? Everyone's racist, and everyone can be racist. Believe me, Asians could be racist to each other, right? And Asians can hate each other. You know, Spanish folks, you know, that call me Chinito Gordito. If you're not my best friend, why say it to me, right? Why call me Chinito Gordito if you're not my best friend and have a laugh? And why you do this? Is this fox eye stuff trend going on around and then say that's supposed to insult me? Yeah, it does insult me. I'm not offended by that because I've seen that all the time growing up as a child, all the way to my adulthood. This whole stupid fox eye thing. I mean, you know, and the stupid jokes. But in all seriousness, you know, it gets aggressive in 2020 when you think that Asian people eat dogs or bad, and you make stupid comments like that, knowing full well that those comments can be seen and could be photographed and just shared with everybody. Like, do you believe in this comment, right? Facebook is a public forum, right? And you guys could probably take this video, edit it, and make me look bad. But I'm going to save this video just to protect myself too, right? So let's get this one thing straight. I'm not a hateful person. And when I say I'm anti-police brutality, right? I believe there are good police officers out there, but I think there needs to be a cultural shift and a cultural change within the police union and the police departments, because when the good officers stand by and do nothing and let the bad apples out there run amok, it makes them look bad. But I also understand why there's a lot of police officers that will not say anything or stand up to this, right? Because they don't want to be ostracized. And remember, when you're a police officer, your life is on the line for your partner, and your partner's life is on the line for you. And when you're ostracized because you speak up against, and you want to be anti-racist, and you want to, stop the injustices, and you're ostracized, right? Or if you're a bad cop and your police union protects you and then just transfer you to a different police department, that doesn't solve the problem either. So let's get to the heart of that. And then number two, when I talk about equal justice and criminal justice reform, right, I'm thinking about, let's be sentencing guidelines equal to everyone, right? Doesn't matter whether you're black or white. Because Brock Turner, he committed a crime. But because it was his first time, and he happens to be white, he only served 3 months and he's a registered sex offender, right? If it was a black person, no crime record, came from an affluent family, he probably would have served time. And there's been discussions around that because of that case. That judge in that Stanford case with the Brock Turner case that happened a couple years ago, he's no longer a judge. Because people were talking about it and up in arms about that, right? It's ridiculous. And the sad part is on Facebook and people's heart, they care more about animals and dogs than they care more about black people. And that's the sad part, right? So, when people say Black Lives Matter, they respond All Lives Matter. Well, if all lives matter, then Black Lives Matter shouldn't trigger you. Because Black Lives Matter is important, right? When you say Blue Lives Matter, okay, cops' life is matter. But here's the thing. An officer chooses to be an officer. It's a career choice, right? You weren't born a police officer. The profession that anybody is in, no one chooses that profession. No one was born into that profession. They choose it, right? So, and my final comments to all the real estate professionals out there that say that they're real estate agents, or they believe in customer service, or they follow the NAR code of ethics, and you come at me for talking about police brutality, and you come at me for calling out anti-Asian sentiment and anti-Asian behavior. You know who you are, you real estate professionals out there. Don't take Asian money. Don't be a real estate agent in Irvine. If you truly believe calling Asian people the Chinese virus, the coronavirus, stop eating bat, or Ching Chong flu, or saying that it's okay to say those are just words, you little bitch. Yes, those are actual words you told me, and I remember that. I will always remember that. Then don't take Asian money. Simple. I already compiled a list of those Asian communities to tell this is the realtors that you should not use, because they think we're the virus. Right? It's not a joke. Right? And there's a lot of realtor out there and so-called real estate professionals that have actually deleted their comments because they know or found out I've been taking pictures of those comments. Right? So, and try to say that English is my second language. I'm kind of wondering, do we tell anybody else that? Or do we just say that to a lot of Asian folks? Right? Saying that condescending tone, like, I know English may be your second language, Kendrick. Right? So, just believe if you're going to come at me, I'm going to take photos of all the comments you make if it gets a little nasty. Right? I'm being very proactive. I'm not going to stay silent. I'm not going to accept any anti-Asian behavior nor these Asian jokes anymore, because, it's gone a little too far. And for me, perpetuating those Asian jokes, I apologize for that as well, because I used to be one of those, I'm going to joke about Asian people, it's funny because it's funny and I can. And you know what? It's wrong. Because then I'm giving the impression that it's allowed to talk smack to Asian people and be anti-Asian. So I'm not doing that anymore, right? And number two, I'm gonna call out injustice. I'm gonna speak my truth, right? And you can have a difference of opinion, but when you become racist and when you become misogynistic and hateful, that is not a difference of opinion. Okay? A difference of opinion is saying that Spider-Man is a heck of a lot better than all the DC heroes out there, right? I probably triggered some DC fans, but that is an opinion. Or Harry Potter is better than Lord of the Rings. That is an opinion. That is a discussion that could get heated. I understand that. But saying to me of what is not anti-Asian and saying these are just words, they're not your opinions. You're just being condescending. All right? I'm going to log off now of this live video before I say any more stuff because I'm pretty heated about all that banter that happened yesterday with this Octavio Capacetti guy. I mean, truly gaslighting me and questioning my mental health, right? And then claiming he's trying to help me because my viewpoint is wrong, so he wants to mansplain and change my view. You know? And those are the type of people I'm dealing with on Facebook. And people like that come on my page when I post something. If they don't agree with it, and if they don't want to argue it, then if they can't be respectful, then move on, right? But people can't seem to do that. Anyways, you guys try to have a good Friday. It's been an interesting 2020 so far. And it's been a heck of a weird summer where everything is going on crazy. I just hope that in 2021, we will start to heal. And not only that, maybe get back to normal just a little bit, right? All right, thank you guys. Take care.